All right, today we're going to dive into a short but incredibly powerful and, honestly, a very human story from the book of Genesis. It's this brief encounter that all comes down to a single, unbelievable promise and a very private, very relatable reaction.
So let's just start with the question that's at the heart of this entire thing. Imagine just for a second hearing something so completely out there, so far beyond what you know to be possible, that your only gut reaction is to just laugh, a cynical little laugh to yourself. What on earth could someone promise you that would do that?
And there's our answer. This right here, this is the internal thought of a woman named Sarah. She's not saying it out loud. She's laughing to herself. She's thinking, yeah, right, now, after all this time, this one single private moment of doubt, well, that's the key to understanding everything that's about to happen.
Okay, so to really get why Sarah laughed, we have to rewind the clock a little bit. We need to see how a totally normal, scorching hot afternoon suddenly turns into the setting for this absolutely life-altering moment. I mean, you can almost feel this scene, right? The blazing sun, the dusty air, that kind of sleepy stillness of the middle of the day. Abraham's just sitting there trying to catch a little bit of shade. It's a picture of complete and total normality. It's the quiet before everything changes.
And then, bam, the ordinary just shatters. Out of nowhere, 3 men are just standing there. The text doesn't say they walked up, it doesn't say they called out, they just appear. And this mysterious arrival is the spark that lights the fuse for the rest of the story.
Now here's what I think is so fascinating. Abraham's reaction. He doesn't wait, he doesn't pause, he doesn't think twice. What we see is this absolute explosion of hospitality. It's frantic, it's over the top, and it tells you everything you need to know about this guy.
Just look at the action words here. He runs, he pleads, he hurries, he runs again. This isn't just a polite, hey, welcome. This is an urgent, all-in effort. He rushes to Sarah for the finest flour. He personally picks out a choice calf. And then, get this, he stands there waiting on them like a servant while they eat. He's treating these strangers like absolute royalty.
And it's right here, in the quiet after this big feast, that the whole mood shifts. The real reason for this mysterious visit, it's about to come out.
And just like that, the conversation gets personal. Until now, it's all been about the meal, the welcome, but with this one question, the focus zooms in like a spotlight right on Abraham's family, and specifically on the woman listening from inside the tent.
This just lays it all out so perfectly. On one side, you've got the cold, hard facts of life. Abraham and Sarah are old. I mean, the text is very clear. She is way past the age of childbearing. But on the other side, you have this promise that sounds, let's be honest, kind of crazy. A year from now, Sarah's going to have a son. The gap between those two things feels like a canyon.
And of course, right there, just out of sight, Sarah. She hears the whole thing. She hears her reality being completely ignored and this impossible future just laid out as fact. So what does she do? She laughs. And isn't that just the most human response ever? You know that feeling when hope seems so ridiculous, all you can do is laugh? That's her, right there in the tent.
So this brings us to the climax, the final, really tense moments of this whole encounter. Sarah's secret little laugh, it's about to go public, and it sets up this incredible face-off between human doubt and something much, much bigger.
This is the moment. One of the visitors, and we now understand this is the Lord, he turns to Abraham and asks this. But notice, he quotes Sarah's inner thoughts, word for word. The laugh she thought no one heard? Oh, it was heard. The doubt she was holding in her heart is now just out there for everyone.
Can you imagine how she feels? She's terrified. She's been caught. Her most private, cynical thought has just been exposed by a stranger. And she does what so many of us would probably do when we're cornered and scared. She denies everything. It just shows you how hard it is to be honest when you feel that exposed.
It's quick. It's a simple, flat denial. She's just trying to stuff it all back in the box, to pretend that little moment of doubt never even happened.
But nope, it's not going to work. The response is just as simple, just as firm, and it's the undeniable truth. Yes, you did laugh. And what's amazing is that's the end of it. There's no big lecture, no punishment, just a statement of fact that hangs in the air, leaving Sarah to face the truth of her own doubt.
And that's where this chapter leaves us. It doesn't wrap everything up with a neat little bow. It ends with the visitor's own question. A question that hangs right over Sarah's laughter and her fear. And really, it's a challenge not just to her, but to every single one of us who hears this story. It asks us to look at the things we think are impossible and just wonder,